You have to have a heart to help a heart. Learn what you can do locally to fight heart disease and stroke. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Smith University Center at Francis Marion University. We're focused on tomorrow's PD, American Heart Walk. Registration from 8:30 to 9:45. The walk kicks off at 10. And we're visiting with Anne Marie Browning, the district manager for Walmart stores. Good morning, Anne Marie.
Hi, how are you?
Do you normally go by Anne Marie or Anne?
Anne Marie.
Anne Marie, great.
One word.
I've got a daughter, Emma Claire. So, you said that's one word.
Yeah, one word.
Hers is two. So it's, but we surely make that effort to use both of them. Where are you from originally, Anne Marie?
Originally from Florida, down in Cocoa Beach, where the space shuttle goes up. So I had the opportunity to actually see the first space shuttle go up.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. So that's where I grew up.
That must have been. It's great to have a landmark that everyone knows about when talking about where you're from.
I can say that, and they know where it's at. So.
Do you mind me asking how old you were when that went up? I know that's kind of dating you, but just to get an idea if you remembered it.
Yeah, I was in sixth grade.
So you do remember it?
Yeah, I do remember it. So
wow.
I was in sixth grade.
What was that like growing up in Florida?
I loved it. I mean, we're of course right by the beach. I mean, we lived about 5 minutes from the beach, and it was a very laid back then. It wasn't so, I guess, commercialized as some beaches are, and Florida beaches are very commercialized also now. But it was great. It's wonderful.
Do you still get down there?
Yes, my parents still live there, so I go there quite often.
Great.
And I get to take my son down there.
Is fantastic, and he'll be able to see a shuttle take off.
He's seen two.
Is that right?
Yes.
It's great to go see his grandparents down there. How long have you been with Walmart, Anne Marie?
I've been with Walmart 14 years, and I started out in Destin, Florida, which is a great place to start out. It's a beautiful place to live. And I went down to Miami, and I was fortunate enough to go there 5 days before Hurricane Andrew hit, so I got to go through that. Wow. And the rebuilding of Miami. And then I went to Puerto Rico for 3 years for Walmart, opened up several stores there. And then we came to the Carolinas about 9 years ago.
Is that right? So from Destin to Miami to Puerto Rico, you've been in some nice weather states here.
Yeah, actually. It's been nice.
Without Hurricane Andrew, without that, you've been to some nice weather states.
Right. Yeah, it's been, I'm fortunate not to go north yet.
Not yet, that's right. Well, of course, Walmart is a pretty sizable company, and oftentimes I guess there is some movement from community to community.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you said you moved here 9 years ago. What prompted that relocation from Puerto Rico?
Actually, my husband used to work for Walmart. He doesn't work for Walmart anymore. He works for a competitor, but he got a store over here, and the district manager at the time, which is Ron Cook, and he's the district manager of Myrtle Beach district. He was our first store manager back 14 years ago. So he brought us over here, and I was the assistant manager at Marion. And that's how we came here.
And your husband was working with Walmart as well at the same time?
Yeah, he ran the Florence store for a while.
Oh, wow. So Ron Cook was the district manager up here, and he brought your husband in to run the Florence store, and you came in with the Marion store.
Right.
Wow. Now, you said your husband's no longer with Walmart. Does Walmart have any issues about husband and wife being with the same company?
No, not at all. It's just that we had to choose, basically. I was actually progressing a little bit faster in my career than he was, and I was going to get a district, so I was fortunate enough to get this one, so we had to make a choice.
That's fantastic. When you say this one, what exactly does is it the Florence district? What stores are covered?
It's based out of Florence, but I have the two Florence stores, Lake City, Hartsville, Marion, and I have Conway.
Okay. And now, are most of those stores are involved with tomorrow's Heart Walk?
Yes. Actually, Conway they were involved with the one, the Myrtle Beach one, and the other 5 stores are involved. They all have teams in this one going on tomorrow. Fantastic.
Well, of course, the Myrtle Beach one was held a couple weeks ago down at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion. Had an incredible walk in memory of Ashby Ward, the former longtime chamber leader for the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce, and they were almost 50% over their goal. That is spectacular. So I'm sure groups like Walmart really help make a difference this year.
We certainly try, and we really believe in it.
Walmart is sponsoring the Children's Corner for tomorrow's Heart Walk. Anne Marie, can you share with the viewers a little bit about how the stores are participating in this event?
Well, we're doing the teams, and we've already done some donations to help basically do some raffle give-offs
Right.
for the children's corner, and anything that we can do to try to help man the children's corner also.
Great. Yeah, what all's going to be out at the children's corner? That's a ton of stuff.
I'm not really particularly sure of all of it. I know that we are donating, like, I think a television and some things like that.
Great.
So I gave her a budget, and she's buying what she needs.
I love it. Well, that's a good way to do it. I mean, because obviously the folks at the Art Association have been pounding it for so long, they know what has worked year after year after year. So that's a great way to do it. Walmart stores is such a great resource for many community groups, and you all must receive tons and tons of requests for different charitable events. How do you go through that decision-making process, Anne Marie?
Basically, our store managers and our associates will choose what charities they want to be involved in, and we do any charity from a 501c, tax-free, children charities. We do like the schools. We also we provide a lot of funds to our local schools and also churches. We try to do it where it goes back into community. That's what we want. Everything that we do to be very community involved. Mm-hmm. So that's what the associates really feel very, very strong about. So they basically choose which charities they want to go into, and a lot of times it has to do with, like, if for instance, the way that we are involved with this charity is, most people have somebody in their family or know somebody that has some sort of heart disease. So that's very important to all the associates.
Very definitely. And so in making the decisions that this year's Heart Walk was going to be a big one that you'd wrap around the PD American Heart Walk, you met with the managers and different associates that talked about cardiovascular disease having had an impact in their lives.
Yes, and that they feel very strongly this is a very good organization that we need to be really for. And
that's fantastic. That is wonderful. Well, there's so many aspects in that instance where y'all are committing so much back to the local community. It's like being a hometown store.
Right. That's our belief. Walmart wants to put back everything we can put back into our community. We really feel very strongly about that, and we give a lot of money into different charities, and we really want to make sure that we are involved in our community.
That is fantastic. So oftentimes Walmart is perceived as being such a behemoth that is really out of touch with local communities, but with the numbers of folks you have working at the stores throughout a community, y'all are probably one of the larger employers, and the ability to give back is inherent in everything you do.
We have several programs, and we even have where our associates can volunteer, and we'll match, like, just any charity that would like to volunteer time to, or we'll match $1 per their time. I mean, there's so many different ways and avenues that we put back into the community that people don't realize.
That's fantastic. So if someone's volunteering, let's say at the Heart Association, their hourly time, what that would build up to be, y'all would make
would match a contribution for them.
That is fantastic.
In their name, basically.
Now, is that something that came out of different districts, or was that something that came out of Bentonville?
That's out of Walmart, Bentonville themselves. But every local store has a budget of what they can give for grants, and that's how. And every local store, basically, including Sam's is Walmart also. Mm-hmm. So every local store and all the associates basically are in charge of what charities they want to help and what schools they want to help. And for instance, if one store's in West Florence, it's the West Florence schools would basically, get help. And then the South Florence store, we try to help a lot of South Florence stores.
Right. That's great thinking. It has that tie-in, that ability, because only in that community do they really know what the community needs are the most prevalent.
Exactly.
That is fantastic. Why do you think it's important, Anne Marie, to support the efforts of the American Heart Association, particularly here in the PD?
Well, I think that heart disease is a very prevalent, especially in South Carolina, and I think that it's something that we really need to embrace and try to help find some different cures and ways that we can, help the community. And with us, with the Children's Corner, we believe in, basically better welfare for children. We want them to lead happy, healthy lives. So I think it's very important that we, embrace this.
That's part of the reason why y'all wrapped around the children's corner, because you start them young. You start them young.
We feel that if you help these children, go through life, basically that's very important for the community, because you want to help them grow into very healthy adults.
Mm-hmm. And in the same way, that benefit comes back to you and the associates throughout Walmart. That same learning experience. If a child's learning, oftentimes an adult's learning at the same time.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. Will teams be out there this Saturday?
Yes, we'll have every store should have a team out there, and we'll be very involved this Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun for us, I think.
And it's tomorrow. Think about that. We're just a day away. I heard tomorrow's a doubly big day for you as well.
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yes.
Now, we will not ask her the age. We will not get into that. But that's a big celebration. If she watched the first shuttle take off in 6th grade, we can put it together. I'm sorry I didn't mean to do the dating there. Anne-Marie, when you think about 14 years with the same company and 9 years working here in the PD with the same company, how's that been for you, experiencing much of your adult life with the same company?
Walmart's a fantastic company. I can't say enough good things about it. It's really helped me and my family, and I love working with the associates and seeing what helps the associates. We have so many different benefits that people don't realize. It is like being a family, and we believe in we don't say last names. It's all first names, just like so anyone can call me. They don't call me Miss Brown, they call me Anne-Marie. It's very personal. I really enjoy that part of the business. It's not all structured business. Of course it is a business, but it's just a great company. There's just so many opportunities that people don't realize that you can partake in. You can go in any route that you can. You can take an 18-year-old, and I've seen this, associate that may have not had a route of what they want to do with their lives, and they go into the assistant manager program, and they continue up to, actually I have one of such person that's a district manager now, and he's one of the younger district managers in Puerto Rico, and he basically didn't have any, life goals, and I think that helps put a lot of structure in people's lives and gives more people opportunity. That's just a great company.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. 14 years with the same company in that aspect of growing. And what's that been like, having come up here with your husband and him obviously now working for a competitor? That must be a little...
It's interesting.
Yeah, what does your son do? Does he take favorites?
He likes Walmart.
Listen to that.
He
Easy
does.
sell
What
there.
kid doesn't like Walmart? Every kid likes Walmart.
Listen to that.
We have a great toy department.
You're an ingrained salesman. That's amazing. That is amazing. Lastly, Anne-Marie, when you think about that aspect, what do you like best about your job of being a district manager?
I like working with people, and I really enjoy. I like to see people grow. I like to see people happy, customers. I like to see associates happy. It's just it's very fulfilling to me to see and to work with people and different personalities and learn about people, and that's to me the most fulfilling thing.
It's learning to love people. It's obviously knowing a lot of folks, and this commitment of serving a community. You heard her talk about an aspect that people may not know about Walmart. They're really acting like a hometown, a local store, giving back to the community like so many other retailers do. That's a big commitment. It's her birthday tomorrow. Find her out here, the PD American Heart Walk here at Francis Marion University. Find Anne-Marie, as she likes to be called. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Smith University Center at Francis Marion University. We're focused on tomorrow's PD American Heart Walk. Registration from 8:30 to 9:45. The walk kicks off at 10, and we're visiting with Brandie Hayes, the Director of Corporate Relations for the American Heart Association. Good morning, Brandie.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And this is your alma mater.
It is my alma mater. So proud to be here.
What's that like, being back in the Smith University Center?
It's very nice. I haven't graduated very long. I've been out for a couple of years.
Right.
Met my husband here and truly enjoy Francis Marion every single bit of the way. It was very, very fun. I enjoyed it.
And right here on the stairwell in the center, we've had folks walking by up and down the stairwell. This is such a great location. Folks playing ping pong in the background. It's amazing to be in here this morning.
It is. It's nice to be back here at Francis Marion.
It's a great campus. Brandie, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Salters, South Carolina. It's a small town outside of King Street. Most people don't know where it is, but I'm from there, and then I came to Florence to come to Francis Marion.
April, of course, the spokesperson who was in with us on Wednesday with Dr. Trant, she's from Salters.
Absolutely. We went to high school together, actually.
Is that right?
Yes, we did.
Do you still have family in the area, Brandie?
In Salters, I sure do. My whole family is there. My sister is now at Francis Marion. She's a student here. And then my husband and I both reside here in Florence. So it's just the three of us, really.
How exciting. How exciting. What was your major in school, and what did you do immediately following graduation?
I was a marketing major here at Francis Marion and was in the University Honors Program here.
Okay.
And immediately after leaving Francis Marion, I went to work as a retail sales manager with Gymboree Corporation and was there for several years. Really enjoyed that. Tough work, though.
That would have been. And were you traveling a lot with that, Brandie?
Towards the end, I did travel a good bit. I became somewhat of a trainer, helping train other store managers, getting stores together, and going to meetings and things like that. But locally, I was actually at Magnolia Mall here in Florence. I stayed there.
Great. Brandie, share with the viewers how long you've been with the Heart Association and how you came to your position as Director of Corporate Relations. That's a big deal.
It is a very funny story. I was at Gymboree Corporation, and one of my customers was a volunteer for the American Heart Association here in Florence. And she came into the store and said, "Brandie, there's a position open, and you would be perfect."
Wow.
And so I was somewhat coerced into sending in my resume, and then I interviewed, and here I am 5 months later. So
it's been 5 months
only
now.
5 months.
What does it feel like now, knowing the Heart Walk's tomorrow? So much has gone on getting ready for the event. This is such a gigantic event for the PD area each year.
Absolutely. I'm very excited that the event is tomorrow. I really want to see the work that we put into it, not only from the AHA side, but also from the donors and our sponsors and our walk members and things like that, too. It's going to be a great culmination of all the efforts of so many people, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that for the first time, too.
Absolutely,
Since
Brandie.
I haven't been here that long.
That's exactly right. When you think about the aspect of the benefits the Heart Association provides the area, are there benefits directly for you, for instance, any family members that have been touched by cardiovascular disease or stroke?
Well, when I was approached by the customer to send in my resume to work at the Heart Association, it touched me immediately because I was born with a birth defect, a heart disease birth defect, and I was born with a hole in my lower left chamber of my heart, and went to a cardiologist for several years, and I was very blessed that I never had to have surgery. I was able to get treatment medically at MUSC in Charleston and take medications and things like that to correct that problem. And it really is nice working for an association, working for this association particularly, because it has affected my life.
Yes.
And I've given so many speeches to different, clubs, Kiwanis, Pilot Clubs, Rotary, and it was very funny because I spoke about the one thing that I can remember when I was a child was there was this chalky substance that I had to drink before I could have my x-rays, and it was horrendous. It really was. And I gave that speech, and I talked about that chalky substance, and a doctor, a pediatric cardiologist, who I think was on your show earlier this week too, Dr. Trant, he came and told me that because of the AHA, children don't have to drink that chalky substance anymore. And so it really kind of hit home then too that there are things that I'm doing every day that's saving people's lives and making their quality of living better as well. And I just lost a grandfather, Robert Ray, in July, and to heart disease. And it's just really been stricken in my family as well. So he was the first grandfather that I've lost.
Well, this really makes even so much more special to be out here tomorrow and to know that you're associated with a group that's committed so much to fighting heart disease and stroke. How about the responsibilities as Director of Corporate Relations? What exactly does that entail, Brandie?
Well, I have a kind of a multi-products position. I am the Corporate Director for Corporate Sponsorship. So I handle all of the corporate sponsors and donors, everyone from small businesses to your larger businesses as well. For the walk particularly, I'm in charge of corporate sponsorship, and so I've dealt with getting companies involved corporately, getting corporate dollars. And then for the other part, the flip side, I also do the event managing and coordinating of the Florence County Heart Ball and the Darlington County Heart Ball. So I kind of have my hands in all three of the events that we have locally in the PD area.
Yes, very definitely. You are very active.
I try.
How important is the support of the business community to the ongoing success of the American Heart Association?
It's very important. For the galas, it's typically all corporate supported, and for the walk, it is substantially corporate supported. It's very important that they take part not only as a corporate donor, but for the walk with the walk teams and wraparound events and things like that they have in their company itself. It's very important that they recognize too, and Jenny and I spend a lot of time trying to let them know what they are getting back here and how the research is going to directly affect them. And it's very funny because 1 in 2 people in the PD region are going to die of heart disease and stroke. So, Greg, that's me or you, literally. And when I go in and we go in and we're talking to sponsors and walk teams and talking to donors or just individuals, it's truly about the education, and it's so important that we're supporting it, because without the support of them, the corporate sponsors and these walk teams, we couldn't raise the money that's funding that research. Absolutely not.
Brandie, that is powerful. When you sit there and think with somebody and to be able to stress to them it's either me or you, I mean, that surely drives the point home. And, of course, we're talking about from very large businesses to very small businesses.
Absolutely.
Virtually anyone. Anne Marie was in with us earlier from Walmart, the largest company in the world, down to as small as any numbers of business in the PD, I'm sure.
Absolutely. It's very important, and we're so lucky to have such a community that's so supportive of these events. The walk is the 5th largest event in our Mid-Atlantic affiliate, which includes South Carolina, North Carolina, Maryland, Virginia, and D.C.
Wow.
And if you're looking at the population that makes up the PD region, that is something to be very, very proud of.
Absolutely. Everyone should wrap around it, whether they can be sponsors of the event, financial sponsors. If they can't be, at least to be out here tomorrow supporting an event that brings so much to the area.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Can small businesses be involved? Obviously, with the walk tomorrow, it's probably difficult to come in as a corporate sponsor.
Sure.
But surely for next year, to begin planning out for next year, as well as the Heart Ball, the big gala coming up.
Absolutely. We will take money any time of the year, obviously, to fight this disease. But small businesses have the opportunity to make a difference just as well as large corporations do, because every dollar does count. Every penny makes a difference. And it's so funny because when I have that question a lot, how can I as a small business compete with a large business corporately in dollars or in walk teams? And I tell them it's so funny that several decades back, CPR was funded by a grant from the American Heart Association, and that grant was worth $5,000. A small business definitely has the capabilities of helping get to a $5,000 mark without a doubt. And just to think about the magnitude of that, $5,000 funded CPR, and how many lives have been saved by that?
Golly,
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, absolutely. That is incredible.
I think so too.
For small businesses, what are some of the sponsorship opportunities available each year to the business community?
Well, we have everything from presenting sponsor, which gets your media package benefits and is our highest level sponsor. They're incorporated into every single thing that we do for the walk. We also have all the way, you have things like the Heart Healthy Trail Markers, which are our smallest level of sponsorship, and they are the 3x4 signs that have the Heart Healthy messages on them, and then will be sponsored by businesses. We have a Red Cap sponsor, which sponsors our Red Cap tent.
Right.
And that is what the walk is about, is really celebrating the lives of those that have passed, but also celebrating the lives of those that are still here because of the research and the medical advances. We also have a Health Expo sponsor, the Kids Corner sponsor. I know Anne Marie spoke about that just earlier.
Yes.
We have a stage sponsor. We have a finish line sponsor. There's so many. There's ample opportunity to even fit your market as well.
Wow.
So we can look at your business and what is your business marketing, what are you trying to target, and then we can kind of make something up and create something to brand you better and to get you out there.
That is wonderful. So if they can't come on board for tomorrow's event, obviously just getting out here tomorrow, and maybe they still can. They could call the office.
Sure. they could come to the office and they could still get involved at some level. Obviously, benefits are going to be hard to get to them at this point because we do have tomorrow as the big day.
Right.
But we would love if they're looking at this morning and they are excited and want to get involved, we can get them on board for next year and start advertising them early, because we can talk about sponsors starting tomorrow at the event. We can announce it on the stage.
Right, yes.
Absolutely.
We've got about a minute, Brandie. What makes Francis Marion a great location for the walk to hold tomorrow?
Well, Francis Marion is such a central location, and it's so important to the PD area, and it's just beautiful here too. It really is. It's kind of a culmination of what the PD area is about for this area. It can bring everybody together. It's a good location, and Francis Marion is so wonderfully equipped at hosting this type of event and the magnitude of people that we're going to have tomorrow too.
She knows it not just because she's an alum, but also because she's been out here before. It's an amazing setting. Francis Marion University, whether you get into the Student Center or you're throughout the campus, get out here tomorrow, rain or shine. Registration from 8:30 to 9:45. The walk kicks off at 10. Brandie, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much. I'm glad I could
Absolutely.
be here.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Anne Marie Browning, the district manager for Walmart, and Brandie Hayes with the American Heart Association for making today's Carolina People so special. Get out here tomorrow, the PD American Heart Walk.